Welcome to The Exclusive. I'm your host, Sharon Tharp. I'm very excited to welcome my guest today. You might have seen some reunion photos flying around. It's Big Brother 2's Hardy Hill. Hardy, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you so much. How you guys doing? How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I feel like everyone's sort of seeing the reunion photos flying around. I'm curious how did that, I guess, come about after 24 years?
Interestingly enough, I just got a random message from Bunky. Bunky and I have been in touch. I keep in touch with a few people from the show, but Bunky basically was like, "Hey, where do you live?" And I'm like, "I live in Bel Air, Maryland." He's like, "Is that close to Pennsylvania?" I'm like, "Well, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so that's probably what he's referring to." And I'm like, "It's like about an hour and a half from Harrisburg." He's like, "Well, I'm flying into Harrisburg. I'm going to Hershey Park. I'm going to be like doing a little thing, and then I'm going up to New York. I'm going to see Monica. I'm going to see the Stephen Colbert show." He also went and saw The Lion King and I think
Oh,
another show.
wow.
Yeah, so he had a really good time. He was like, "Listen," he goes, "is it possible for us to get together?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'm like an hour and 40 minutes or hour and 45 minutes from where you are in Harrisburg, from, where you're going to be staying." And he's like, "I got a rental car." I said, "Do you want to meet halfway?" He's like, "No." He's like, I want to come down into your house." I was like, "Okay, great. Perfect." Like, I was trying
Easier
to be
for you.
thoughtful. Yeah. And I was like, that works for me. So, yeah, he drove down and he asked to have someone videotape it. And I wouldn't have thought of that because, I'm just like, oh, whatever. But yeah, I'm glad we did, because that's actually kind of like the first video that I ever posted on TikTok. So I just have like a brand new TikTok. So all this stuff kind of fell into place. So he came here, we hung out, we went on my back patio. I drank a little wine. He doesn't drink, so we were just like catching up and like talking and talking and talking and just like sharing stories and stuff. And it was really an amazing experience. It was really great to like just sit down with him. I just couldn't, but I kept looking at him like, my God, I can't believe we're here, man. I can't believe you're sitting beside me right now. So it was really cool. And he said to me, he said, "Listen," he goes, "I'm going to go see Monica in New York. If you can make it, that'd be great." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, I'm in." And I didn't realize it, but I had a work engagement that I thought was next Thursday instead of this past Thursday. It was actually this past Thursday. Wednesday, I got confirmation that the meeting had to be postponed and moved and rescheduled. So I was like, "Okay, well, now I'm back on." So I called them up and they're like, "Absolutely." There was a viewing party that they wanted to host. So we did that. Went up, saw Monica, saw Bunky. Actually stayed with Bunky overnight at his hotel. We had a good time. It was so much fun. Such a great experience, seeing everyone and kind of catching up. Yeah, it was very special, very cool.
Yeah, Monica's one of my favorite people. I live here in New York and I run into her once in a while and
Okay,
I love her. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, how was it being at that event? Was it weird for you? Because, like, had you been around that many Big Brother fans in a while?
So, interesting question that you asked that, because they both. So Bunky asked me when he and I first like met up and at his hotel, and then we went into the city. We were staying in New Jersey, and then on the way into the city, he's like saying, he goes, "Have you done a lot of these meet and greets?" I'm like, "Bunky, I've not done any meet and greets." Like, I'm like, "What should I expect?" He's telling me, he's like, "Well, people are gonna want to talk to you, but they're gonna be timid. They're gonna probably be a little like intimidated. Like, so just like work the room." And I'm like, "All right, well, I was in hospitality for like 18 years down in Miami. I sure as hell know how to work a room." So that worked out well. And it was a lot of fun.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, as viewers, the last we saw you, you were, I think, a bouncer. They said you were from Pennsylvania.
So
What?
here's the thing. I was in. I have to like speak to that, and because I always held a grudge for them doing that to me. I was in corporate sales, and I had started studying Muay Thai kickboxing. So my Muay Thai kickboxing instructor is a gentleman named Jack Fontaine. He was like, I think, like, I know he was the Haitian champ, and I think it was like second place champ in the world, like years ago, like decades ago. So he was my trainer. And so I started working out and training with them. And then by happenstance, he's like, "Listen," he's like, "you've developed a great proficiency in this. And if you'd like, I'd run security for this nightlife company. And I'd love to have you if you're interested. Like, I know you can handle yourself and have a good head on your shoulders." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." I didn't know anyone. I moved to Miami. I had absolutely no idea who anyone was. So I wasn't like going out and meeting people. I was just like staying at home, like. So to be able to go out and do that, it was like, yeah, that makes sense. I get paid. I get to be in the nightlife industry. And So that's how that came about, and that was part of my story when I did the audition tape for Big Brother. Part of it was like me doing Muay Thai, kickboxing, and Jax, who's my trainer. I told a story about him, and they must have just kind of picked up on it. So I guess it made for like more real TV as opposed to like corporate salesperson. Like, no, bouncer from Miami. Ooh, like let's latch onto that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how that came about.
Yeah, this season there's like a trainer who also happens to play Dungeons and Dragons, so they're like, "Oh, he's a Dungeons and Dragons master." Like
Is
that's
that
his job.
Keanu?
Keanu, yeah.
So what they, I swear to God, they had him listed as Dungeon Master, and
Yes.
he's from Miami. And I'm thinking, I don't remember there being a lot of dungeon nightclubs in Miami or like dungeons, like fetish BDSM stuff. And I'm like, this is like not on my radar. But so it's from like Dungeons and Dragons being a dungeon master. Is that what that refers to?
Yes. Yes.
That's crazy. I mean, that is
You know
so
how
not
Big
cool.
Brother is.
I mean, you can ruin somebody by putting that stuff up, making people believe like I thought he was like a dungeon master, like like people come in, they get abused, he like whips them or
Yes.
something, and people pay for that shit. It's a fetish, and I was like, all right, interesting. And they cast him on the show. That's brilliant. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it much. But yeah, give us like the life update. Where are you living? Like obviously share only
Oh,
what you're comfortable sharing.
oh
How's
no,
life
no.
these days?
So I now live in Bel Air, Maryland, which is, well, if you know where Maryland is, just south of the Pennsylvania Maryland border.
Hmm.
I'm married. I've been married for 3 years. I've got four amazing stepkids. I have to first say that I'm very, very fortunate. Like I met the most amazing woman. So if I smile like when I'm describing this and talking, I just because I realize how freaking fortunate I am to have her. Anyway,
I love
so
that. Okay.
I also have like four amazing stepchildren that I thankfully inherited. I got 21-year-old Jesse. He's doing incredible. He's actually going to look at a Harley right now to buy. So he's 21. He's doing very well. He's an HVAC tech. The next one is Riley. She's 20. She's actually studying nuclear engineering down at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. She actually just got I can't remember the name of it, but it's a government Department of Defense award that she won. So now they're paying for her schooling, even in grad school, and then she's assigned to Pearl Harbor when she
Oh
graduates.
wow.
So yeah, I mean, she's very smart, brilliant lady. Then we have Gage, who just turned 17 not long ago. He just bought his first F-350 Ford truck. He's doing great. He's only 17 years old. And then there's Jagger, who's 13. He just started 8th grade. And Gage, the 17-year-old, just started as a senior in high school. So it's been like,
Wow.
it's kind of like, everyone's like kind of going through their phases in life. And I kind of remember like when I was in college and like when I turned 21 and like when I was 17 and 13, it's just like kind of relating to these guys' experiences a little bit different, but it's like so fun to like get to like hang out with them and talk to all of them and kind of, get their input and hear
Yeah.
their stories about life. Yeah.
I love that. Now, when
Yeah.
you met your wife and you met your stepkids, did they
Yeah.
know about your reality TV past? Was
No,
that a topic ever?
no. As a matter of fact, see, that's something else. I mean, I'm obviously not ashamed of being on Big Brother.
Of
It
course.
changed my life. It's an incredible thing. But I've never been one to like make that my calling card. Like I'm
Yep.
Party Hill from Big Brother too. You know what I mean? Like I just don't do that. So, but again, I'm not embarrassed of it. So that never came up when we were dating. I think she might have Googled me and found out, and then the kids found out, and like they were like started commenting online on different things. Like so after we got married, so the Jagger was posting something on TikTok, and he's like, "That's Hardy's my stepdad." I was like, "Right on, man, cool."
That's
So
cool.
yeah, they thought it was pretty interesting and stuff. And interesting enough, also, so I just started with TikTok, as I mentioned, and I just started getting online with them like a few days ago. And the video that I posted that my wife took of Bunky and I reacquainting and reuniting, what have you, it's almost like 90,000 views. And
Yeah.
like people are contacting me like, dude, you're kind of blowing up. I'm like, not going viral, but 90,000 views is a lot. So I was just like, geez, like, must be doing something right. So I guess people are just
Yeah.
interested in Bunky and I getting back together and reacquainting each other and reuniting.
I mean, this is why I do these interviews is because people really want to know what their favorite personalities are up to these days, seeing
Yeah.
them together. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Do you still keep up with the show or not really or on and off or
Um, since I spoke to Bunky a week, almost 2 weeks ago, I've been kind of like looking online and kind of catching up on things. I understand that Rachel, I must have just gotten evicted on Thursday or something, or no, not Thursday, but
Eliminated.
Saturday, eliminated. However, that I didn't see it. I'm not sure
There was a
exactly how all that
twist.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I knew she was on the show like 3 times now. So I was like, apparently
She
she
won
likes it.
already. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's so I just watched the show on Thursday. So I've watched a few of the episodes. I've not really like been like drawn into it, but I can understand easily why people do and can. But it's just not like I don't know. It's from what I understand and from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of game playing going on. It just seems like everyone's like kumbaya and like, oh, let's vote as a house. And it's like, man, where's the drama? Where's the backstabbing? Like, where's I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't watched enough of it to see if there was any in that, but the sense that I'm getting is that it's kind of like a little bit too much like kumbaya, but they're going to have to start getting down and dirty and really getting down to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, when's the last time you did you ever watch your season? Did you watch it in full? Did you go back or you watch clips?
I have. It's been a while, but what I've seen is that somebody's done like these edits. So like it's every one of the characters of the show, every one of the people on the show had somebody, probably the same person, but like just do all their snippets the entire season. So I've watched my highlight reel, I guess, and it's
Yep.
like I think it's like 95 minutes long or 100 minutes long or something like that. But I watched that and I was just like, it's just funny to me. It's like looking back, it's just I remember everything very
Right.
vividly. It's just interesting to like see like everyone back then and like and the drama that was going on. It was kind of interesting to look back at it.
Yeah, I mean a lot of us consider that the first season, right? Because that's like kind
Yeah.
of where things changed and But what motivated you to originally apply for this show?
So I actually was modeling down in Miami. When I moved to Miami, I was basically cast with a modeling agency, and I'd been doing different shoots and things and different auditions. So they basically said, "Do you want to go to this casting for Big Brother?" And I told my casting agent, I said no. I said, I just watched the show, and it's like watching paint dry. It's like it's 6 days a week, 30-minute episodes, and it's literally like watching like grass grow. It's boring. Like I can't see why anyone will watch it. And they're like, no. It's like a completely new production company now. Arnold Shapiro is going to be the executive producer. It's from Our House Productions. And they're putting all these dynamics and changes into it. And I was like, all right, well, what do I have to lose? Whatever. So I went on the casting and did like an interview on tape. And then from there, I didn't really think anything of it. Like you go in, you go to a casting, you go in, you do your thing, you audition, you speak the lines, you just show them your comp card, whatever. And then, you move on and they'll contact you if they're interested. So I got contacted like 3 or 4 days later. And they told me that there was casting agents coming back to specifically see people in Miami and I'm sure other places as well in the country. But so they asked me to come and do a second interview, a casting interview in Miami Beach. So I did that, and I think I got a call 3 or 4 days after that, and they asked me to come out to Los Angeles. They're like, you're going to be here for like 3 or 4 days. You're going to be, basically meeting other casting agents, meeting the executive producers. You're going to, do physicals, personality tests, psychological tests. So all these things happening. So I was like, sure, all right, why not? I mean, at this point, I'm getting excited. I'm like, this actually might happen.
Yeah.
So I did. I flew out, and everything went really well. It's funny. I was talking to Bunky about this. The first day I was there, the first morning after I arrived, the next morning I was in the gym at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I'm jumping rope, and I see Bunky.
No way.
So
Really?
the first time I met Bunky and we didn't meet each other. We weren't
Right.
allowed to talk to anybody. So if
Yep.
you saw something, like you couldn't talk to anybody. If they found out you talked to somebody, you're gone. So I saw him in the gym, and we're like, kind of like doing our thing. But it was interesting because I could tell he was like probably being cast too.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk to him, just like, hey man, like good luck, whatever. So that was interesting. So we did that, and this is in Los Angeles, and I actually at the end of it, if you progress through, there's different levels, and if you stayed there the entire 4 days, the last thing you do is you go to CBS headquarters and you met with Les Moonves, like the
Oh, wow.
CEO
Yeah.
and president of CBS, and you had a personal like meeting with him and like casting agents, and it's just you. That was a little bit high pressure. But they did that, I think with everybody that actually got cast on the show, and probably a few people that didn't get cast on the show. So I go back to the hotel after that. It's about like 8:30 at night. I had to get up early in the morning and fly back to Miami. And one of the casting directors, Jackie Pittman, knocks on my door, and she's like, "Hey," she goes, "I just wanted to tell you, like, we think you're great, and I just want to ask you sincerely and be honest with me here. If you're cast onto the show, can you do it? Like, can you commit to doing this?" And I was like, yeah, like you got me this far. Like, so I was like, absolutely. And they're like, well, she goes, well, to be sincere and honest with you, you're one of the finalists that we're looking at. So, you'll be hearing from us for sure, but just wanted to make sure that you were still able to, should you be cast, like to go ahead and move forward. I'm like, yeah, I would love the opportunity. So that's what went down. And then I think like 2 or 3 days after that, I get a phone call, or I think it was a phone call, and they wanted to schedule a film crew to come out to watch me work out. They're like, what do you normally do? I'm like, well, you're going to be in the morning? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I'll be at the gym. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we'll film you like jumping rope and doing your kickboxing. I was like, yeah. So they did that. They had a film crew meet me at the gym, and I'm working out, and they're filming everything. And they're like, hey, why don't you go check your bag to, grab your towel or something. I'm like, I have my towel already in my hand. Like, they're like, go open your bag. It's like, all right, man. So I go in my bag, and there's the key there, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And they're like, wait, all right, go back. You're gonna have to open that again and try not to swear this time. I was like, oh, great. And we're editing it already. So that was that's how it happened. And then literally within 3 hours, I had to be at the airport within 3 or 4 hours. So I had to immediately go back to my apartment with my handler. At this point, the guy that was the producer, now he's my handler. So he's basically glued to my hip the entire time. Yep. Get back to my house, pack my bags, what have you, get like some checks and stuff ready and like envelopes and stuff, and drop it off at a friend's place. So like, on July 1st, mail these. On August 1st, mail these. On September 1st, mail these. If I'm back, just give them back to me, if you get back before that. So yeah, we got on the plane, and that was it. And I remember flying out, the guy says to me, he goes, do you have any idea what's about to happen to you? Like, your life is going to be completely different from now on. And I was like, that sounds like bullshit. Because you couldn't really gauge it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, all right, man, you on your word, whatever. But yeah, fortunately, it certainly did. So yeah. So anyway, we flew out, and then the show started, I think, like 4 days after that. The first episode. So yeah, maybe 2 or 3 days. I was in LA for like 2 or 3 days before they actually took us to the set, and like they had us in little like trailers on set, and then introduced us all, and you guys kind of saw the rest from there.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the girls, at least in the early days, because I did go back and watch her highlight reel because it's been a minute since I watched the full season. And a lot of the girls were focused on your physique. Oh, he's so good looking, all that. When you got out of the house, was the reception really positive for you? Did you have a lot of attention, or was it more negative? Because I feel like for the most part, people liked you.
So it was shocking to me. And so I'll tell you that, like, once I got evicted, and like my brother and my grandmother were there, and you got to reunite with them, then they take you back to a green room, and they kind of like get my brother and my grandmother like comfortable and like seated on a couch, and they kind of take me to a separate room, and they're kind of like basically like, going through all the processes of like getting your paperwork handled, getting a check before you leave the set, which was nice. And then they're like, we're going to take you back to the hotel. But in the meantime, while all this was happening, there's like production assistants that keep coming in and out of the room, and they're like, and the 2 or 3 of them like sat down like, hey man, like I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, hey man, nice to meet you. I'm like, I feel like I know you so well. I'm like, okay. They're like,
that'd be so weird.
They're like, you don't know what's happening around you, do you? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, you can't buy a jump rope in LA County because of you. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, dude, he's like, you have no idea. Like you, like all the jump ropes are sold out in all like the stores around. Like you can't buy a jump rope in LA County. It's hard to find because everyone's starting to jump rope because you jump rope every day. And I'm like, okay. And then another PA comes in. And she kind of hears the tail end of it. She's like, yeah, she's like, emails would be sent out whenever like you would be awake, and like all the assistants and like the secretaries would send like a message out that he's awake, he's going to start working out soon. So like they would like set an alert. So when I would get up and start working out, they're all like kind of watching. I was like, are you shitting right now? Like it still didn't seem real. Like all of it didn't seem real. And then one of the interviews that I'd done. So once you get off the show, they take you back to your hotel. Yep. And you have to stay secluded. You have to stay in your hotel room. They have security, that's with you. My family's in, my brother, my grandmother in one hotel room. I'm in another hotel room, and security's sitting there with me. We're watching, everyone's in my room. We're watching me get evicted, like in LA, because of the time difference. And so when that happened, we left, and then we went out to Universal Studios, like the Universal City Walk or something. And so basically went out to have drinks and met up with some of the PAs actually. And then after that, you're supposed to, so the next day I had a car arriving at 3 a.m. because I had to do interviews like radio, print, TV, all over the place, and internet. So I never slept. I didn't go to sleep the entire night because I just was like, weirded out by everything. So a car comes and picks me up. I do all these interviews. And one of the last interviews I did was with CNN. And I'm just kind of like exhausted at this point. And the woman goes, how does it feel to be like America's #1 heartthrob? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I said that. She's like, oh, that's right. You don't know. I'm like, by the way, I still don't buy into that at all, just so you're aware. But it was the first time somebody ever mentioned something like that to me. And I had no idea like what they're, I don't know. I'm not out and about. I've been on a TV show the whole summer, in case you didn't notice. But the weirdest part was when we literally, after the last interview, I think we had like a 5:30 or 6 o'clock flight. So we go to the airport, and unbeknownst to me, it's me and my grandmother and my brother, and we're in the airport, and these people they're doing like, are you like Hardy from Big Brother? I'm like, oh shit.
You're like, oh, people are watching this show.
yeah. And ironically, that like in the airport, they have like People and Us Weekly and all those things. Yep. So there was an article about Big Brother and Us Weekly, and there was a picture of me in there, and people are coming up to me with the article asking me to sign the picture. And I'm like, I was like, okay, like it's so bizarre, so weird, like almost like an out of body experience, and really hard to kind of get used to be honest. So I always kind of was like, I kind of helped people like at arm's length because I was like kind of weirded out, like just like, not like, not to be a jerk or anything, just because it was just like, it made me paranoid. I was a little paranoid. Not to lie,
and you don't know who's genuine and who just wants attention, like wants to be around you at that point. It's kind of like a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah. It's something not, I guess celebrities get used to it, but when you're like on a reality show, you go from 0 to like 120 miles an hour like that. And it's like, it's very jarring to say the least. So
I can't imagine.
But those days are a bit behind me now. So nobody's asking me, nobody's stopping me in any airports anymore. I'll tell you that.
Well, we'll see. I do want to ask you a couple things about like what happened in the game.
Sure.
That you remember. Yeah. I know, I feel like you were more or less the big force against Chilltown a lot of the season. What was it about those guys? Did you ever think about aligning with them, or you were basically always anti-Chilltown?
So the first like 24 to 48 hours, you're just kind of like, for me anyway, I was just observing and just kind of trying to keep my head down and try to like engage with everyone, and have communications and conversations with everybody, just to kind of like, establish that I'm friendly, I'm not somebody you have to worry about. I'm not a target. Don't make me a target, please. But what I did see is I saw a lot of characteristics of people that were a little arrogant and cocky and held themselves above other people in the house. And that has never sat well with me for my entire life. So I've always been kind of like rooting for the underdog. And I don't like it when arrogance and cockiness has never looked good on anyone that I've met ever. So I kind of fight against that. And I kind of picked up on that from them, that they were just very arrogant, and I didn't appreciate that. And they were actually very mean to certain people, and I don't take kindly to that shit either. So it wasn't hard for me to decide not to be their friend or to like be friendly with them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know Shannon, was kind of in that alliance until, she didn't last long, and we have to talk about her because you obviously never got along with her. I mean, the toothbrush incident is still something people talk about today. What do you remember from that? And like, was it as big of a deal back then? Because nowadays you would get kicked out of the house for that, I think. I don't know.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for saying that. And yes, that's one of the biggest issues that I had in hindsight, is that she should have been like disqualified from the show immediately. She should have been kicked off. But at that point, they'd already had to get rid of Justin. So we were already one person down.
Right.
And you know what? They didn't even tell me that she had done it. They allowed her to just replace my toothbrush. She lied and said she broke it. And so the whole thing was underhanded. Had that in hindsight, I should have basically just went to the breeze and said, if she's not out of here, then I'm fucking out. I'm sorry. Then I'm out of here. Because that's unacceptable. I think there's actually in the contract, you're not allowed to destroy or steal or do anything with anyone else's properties, and that's an automatic dismissal. So there is no reason for her to not have been evicted or thrown off the show for that. But yeah, neither here nor there.
Because like, what if you had used it? What if they didn't get you in time?
Like, well, that would have been a major lawsuit. Basically, that would have been a major lawsuit on the production company's behalf and CBS, because at that point they're allowing me to be put in jeopardy, by someone else's wanton action. So
exactly, yeah.
I mean,
I remember.
I just, the one thing when I think back about it, I just feel bad for her to like think that was smart to do, or that would be a good look for her. It made her look terrible, and
a lot of her clips are hard to watch. A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, she was saying that you were jealous of her and Will and all this nonsense, and
I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, she's like, well, you're jealous because you can't find a relationship in the house. I'm like, there's only fucking 11 of us here. What are you talking about? Like, I have relationships outside of this house. I'm sorry you're that limited that you can only find something in here or whatever.
It's also not a dating show, so
yeah.
That wasn't really the point.
Yeah, I don't know. God. But yeah, so I found that to be a funny take, and she kept calling me yellow and calling me a coward, and I'm just like, listen, just because I did what other people might not have had the balls to do, you're just, one of you guys is leaving. I don't care which one it is, but I'm glad it was her. With all due respect, I could not stand her laugh. She just grated on me. Like,
did you ever talk to her again?
As a matter of fact, after 9/11 happened, we had to do the finale, and so they actually picked us up. They sent private jets to pick everyone, because commercial jets weren't flying back then. It was only private.
Yep.
So they had private jets come and pick us up, and I flew out of Baltimore, I think, or somewhere in Baltimore, and then we went down to Miami to pick up Will. No, not Will. He was already on. She was still in the show. We picked up what's her name down in Florida? Cheryl. Picked up Cheryl, and then flew out to Texas to pick up Shannon and Autumn. And Shannon was nice enough to have a card for me, and she gave me a hug, and the card was said something like she apologized to me, and I think she just kind of realized it's kind of stupid to do and very immature and what have you. And so when she gave that to me, I just appreciated the thoughtfulness of the gesture and the apology. So I was like, you know what, water under the bridge. And her and I ran into each other a few times down in Miami. Because I was in the nightlife hospitality industry for 18 years down there, and she came to one of the venues that my company owned, and I bought her a drink and had a quick chat. But yeah, I mean, we were never really, really close, but I just appreciated the fact that she apologized and was thoughtful enough to give me an apology card and stuff. I thought that was cool. You know what I mean? I respect that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up 9/11. Obviously you mentioned it. God, everyone remembers where they were at that moment, but
yeah,
you weren't in a jury house because we didn't have that back then. You were home, right? Can you talk about were you talking to production during that time? Did you know what was going, like, it must have been wild.
No. As a matter of fact, I'd actually stayed over at a friend's house that night in York, in my hometown. And so I was living in Miami, but I was flown back with my family to Pennsylvania. And I think they had a flight for me to go to Miami whenever I wanted to go down to Miami. But at that point, there was no more flights because, So I was staying at a friend's house, and I was actually online on one of the chat boards, because this was when, like, I'd just gotten, like, 2 or 3 weeks, like 2 weeks prior, maybe a week or two prior, we had the guys from Survivor on. And one of the things that we did with the people from Survivor is they, like, if you win a competition, like, some of us got to go, like, look online on the internet and, like, see our fan pages. And we're like, holy shit, people are actually watching the show. And so that was a trip. So anyway, so I was getting on the message boards and, like, interacting with the fans and what have you. And people were like, turn the TV on, turn the TV on. The towers got hit by a plane. And I was like, what? And they're like, everyone was like, turn your TV on, turn your TV on. So I turned my TV on in my friend's place. And I think maybe I saw the tower on fire, of course. And then not long after that, saw live the second plane come in.
Yep.
And my heart stopped. Like, that was one of the scariest things that I've ever seen, because that was obviously intentional.
Yep.
And so many people had just died right there, and just seeing that, I mean, that really, like, that was a moment and a feeling that I'll never forget. Like almost like a terror, like, oh my God, like it was,
Yep.
I mean, it was incredibly terrible. It was really bad. I mean, senseless.
Yeah, I remember, because the first one, you're right, we were like, everyone's like, oh, I guess it could have been an accident. But once the second one hit, everyone knew it was not an accident.
Yeah. And like that, I mean, that was like, we're under attack now. Like, we're definitely, like, that was intentional. And yeah, it was one of the worst days in our history.
Did you at that time think, okay, the world's crazy right now, this Big Brother, they might end the season, we might not go to LA? Like, what was, I guess, do you remember that time?
I didn't know what was going to happen. Nobody knew. Obviously, nobody knew. And I think everyone was just kind of playing it by ear. I think production was just kind of playing it by ear and, like, kind of like seeing, what's going to happen. I know that they eventually told the house guests.
Yeah.
And especially because Monica's, I think her cousin had actually been in the towers. So that was obviously very difficult, but I personally had no idea, like, I wasn't communicating with production or anything like that. I just figured, when we were supposed to go, if we were still going to do, then the show was going to finish and we were going to do a finale, that they'd contact me and let me know what the protocol is going to be. And they did after, because they stopped all airline flights, all commercial flights, and they stopped all flights altogether. And then they started allowing private jets to fly. And that's when we had to go out. I think it was that, like, a couple of days after they started allowing private jets to fly, that we had to fly out to for the finale show.
Yeah, if I recall, they pushed it back like a day or so, and I think they didn't have a live audience, and they changed some stuff. When you were there, did it feel more somber, like, or weird? Or it's hard to remember though.
Well, I just know that, like, any time it was brought up or addressed or discussed, it was just like it just brought all the negative, like, sorrowful, painful emotions back. And so we didn't really necessarily talk about it or address it on, at the finale between, I mean, we obviously said, can you believe what's happening? This is insane. But I don't remember specifically, them saying or doing anything specific with regards to that in the production.
Right.
With the exception of course, informing the house guests.
Yeah. A couple other things that obviously were big in the season. Justin's expulsion for the knife incident. What do you kind of remember about that? And how was that scary? Talk to me about that.
I was ready to take care of him, to be quite honest with you. He had become a threat to everyone's safety, in my opinion. He was like a crazed third grader, like, didn't have a lot of maturity, but was, like, angry and, like, had, like, anger control issues and, like, had trouble monitoring and keeping his mood and emotions in check. So yeah, I mean, the stuff that he did, like he got in Kent's face one night and I was sitting beside Kent and I told Kent, I said, if he'd have swung on you, dude, like that'd have been a very bad mistake for him. I'll just say that. And a few other times, like crazy, like about to throw like a wine bottle onto the basketball court. And like, dude, like we're in the hot tub. It's like, stop, dude, stop, please. Like, don't like, this is like an adult I'm talking to. So it's like, yeah, he was dangerous. And then even after the show, after he got evicted, he had that interview with, oh my God, with Julie. Jeez, sorry.
Oh, Julie.
With Julie Chen. And he was denying that he was like bad. Like, dude, they had him in the diary room like several times about like behavioral issues. You can't threaten to beat people up. You can't threaten to hit the girls. Like, insane. So it was, I don't know how he got through the psychological exam, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I would assume the anger issues would have came up, but I guess
yeah. Not. I mean, I was happy that he was gone, because that could have gone really bad in a few different ways on a few different occasions. So I think it was honestly overdue, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the things I want to talk about real quick is you were really good at competitions. You won HOH 3 times. Back then, there was no veto. Nowadays, obviously, we have the veto. Do you think the veto would have helped your game a bit?
Ooh, well, it would have allowed me to, but yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously, the last week when I was nominated, it would have done me very well had I won that. But with me putting other people up, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have liked somebody winning the power of veto and changing my. You know what I mean? So, but that just adds a different element of a strategy to the game. But yeah, I like to think I don't know if it would have helped me more than anyone else, but I was certainly not shy about trying to like win the events. I know people were like shying away from that. Like Will, for example, who won, did not. That was his strategy. Like, I don't want to be a sore thumb. I don't want to be the person that people see as a threat. I'm just going to kind of do my thing, and it worked obviously very well for him multiple times. So yeah, I don't know if it would have helped me or hurt me, but it would have been interesting to have it. You know, I thought about that as well a few times. Like, how would that change my performance?
Yeah, I want to ask, like, who would have been your ideal final two? Like, who do you think, if you sat next to them, you would have had a good shot of winning?
You know what? I had this conversation with Bunky and with Monica. There's nobody I could have won against. I don't think there was anyone I could have won. I don't think so. I really don't. Well, keep in mind that, three of the people, Shannon, Kent, and Bunky, I personally evicted.
Right.
And then you have Autumn, who basically thought that I was the reason for her being evicted, or because, I was rallying votes to get her evicted. I wasn't rallying votes to get her evicted. I didn't have to do that. She kind of did it on her own. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone I could have beat, to be quite honest with you. What are your thoughts? I mean, who do you think I could have beat? Because I saw this many different ways and thought about this many sleepless nights. I'm like, I don't really think I could have beat anybody. I mean, I just had way too many people hating me.
Yeah, I do think you it's like even the people that you got along with, like a Nicole and stuff, like toward the end you felt played by her. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it would have been tough for you to get there and you to win, I think. They didn't do America's Favorite back then, right? No, I don't think so.
What is America's Favorite?
Like, just at the end of the season, they also crown America's Favorite Player. I feel like you would have had a shot there, maybe.
That would have been nice. What do they get? What do they get?
Like 25 grand.
I could have taken 25 grand.
Maybe it might be 50 now, to be honest. I forget, but it's a chunk of change.
It's more than what I left with, I can tell you that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to talk about Nicole, because I felt like you guys had sort of a brother-sister relationship. You ended up voting for her. What was it about Nicole over Will that you voted for her to win?
Just everything that we had been through, so the first time that when she got nominated, like, I was basically talking to her in our room, and I'm like, you got to act like nothing happened. Like, the people that are going to lose are the people that make an ass out of themselves and create drama. Like, they're the ones that people are going to want to get out. So I said, just act like nothing happened. Like, talk to everyone just like you normally would. Don't like stay to yourself. And then in addition to that, it didn't help that that Will and Boogie and Shannon, were using Cheryl as a pawn to get her out. And again, that's thinking you've got too much control, and that's thinking that you're better than everyone else and you're going to control the game. And so we kind of sent them a message, and that's what kind of kept her in. And so from that point forward, our interactions were very supportive of each other. And we didn't have a specific out, like we weren't like, but it kind of became, I'd like us to be 1-2, but I also had like, a thing with the Untouchables, which was Monica and Krista. So,
until Monica put you up, and I was like, come on, Monica.
She had no choice at that point. Listen, when you get down, and it's funny because you get down to a point in the game where you can't be like, kumbaya, we're all friends here. No, you're going to have to start eating each other to survive. And listen, I remember saying this very specifically. I said, what people don't understand is that in order for anyone to win, everyone else has to lose. And I don't think people realize that. Like, so, you start cannibalizing your friend group because you simply have to. It's a matter of survival. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hold it against her. I mean, I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a game.
Sorry, I was just gonna say.
No.
Was your mind already made up, or was there anything Will could have said to sway you, or were you pretty much your mind was made up?
To sway my vote for Will?
Yeah.
No, as a matter of fact, I thought he performed really, really arrogantly and poorly in like the final, like right before we were voting, like how he spoke to everyone.
Yep.
I just
rewatched that. I was like, oh
yeah, I'm like, dude, like, you're expecting that to help you, and lo and behold, it did. But my thing was, I wanted to try to have Nicole or Will negate.
Yes.
Negate a different vote other than mine. So I was kind of like, there's a period of time where I was like talking to Nicole, and I wanted Will to think that because I was talking poorly about Nicole, and this is like the final, like when you're asking questions, that he would not negate my vote, and hopefully Nicole would know that I was just playing with this, and she would not negate my vote either.
Got it.
But it didn't work out that way. So my vote counted.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. At least I think my vote counted. I'm not sure if anyone negated my vote or not.
No, I think he negated Bunky's vote, didn't he?
For sure. Okay.
I think so, because
probably I can't recall.
I want to. Speaking of Will, in the Big Brother lore, he is considered one of the better winners. I would say. Do you agree with that? Is that hard to like? What do you think about all that?
No, I actually think he is like the preeminent Big Brother player. To be quite honest with you, I mean, he was cunning. He is smart. He's funny. He's dynamic. He's engaging. Like he knew what he was doing, and I got nothing but absolute respect for that, for his game. I don't mind losing to somebody that's that good. You know what I mean? It's like if you're going to be beaten, like get beaten by the best in the business. So that's what happens. So I've always stayed in touch with him. We're friends, more of acquaintances than friends. We don't talk that often, but we message each other here and there, and like message over like Instagram and like comments on each other's like posts and stuff. But yeah, phenomenal guy. Obviously very successful outside of the house as well. But I don't have anything bad to say about Will. I think he's the premier preeminent player with which everyone kind of used as the example to move forward from, like the basis point to start, like building upon.
Yeah.
I've got nothing but respect and love for Will. He's a great guy, and like I said, I don't mind losing to somebody that's that good. I hate to say it, but I mean it's true.
Yeah. Don't inflate his ego more than it already is, but we love him.
I don't think he needs me to do that.
Speaking of, him, Chilltown, him and Mike went back for All-Stars. Did you end up watching that season?
I was actually offered All-Stars. Was that the first All-Stars or the second All-Stars?
That was season 7 that they were on, and then we did another season 22 a couple years ago.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was invited to do All-Stars, but I had just gotten a position at the Opium Group as the ambassador at large, which is like basically. Have you ever watched Game of Thrones?
I've tried, Hardy. Okay. I need to go do it again because.
Do you know what the hand of the king is? So like you have the king and then you have the hand of the king. The hand of the king is as powerful, if not more powerful, than the king. Oh. So essentially, I was the hand of the king for the Opium Group, which meant I was the direct extension of the owners. So there was no way I was going to like not accept that promotion to spend the summer on television. I was like, there's no way, this is too much big of an opportunity for me. So I did actually fly out and hosted a competition. I think it was the bull riding competition.
Yeah.
That I hosted
I forgot about that.
I think it was for All Stars. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go back because I'm like, wait, I do remember this. Had they contacted you ever again about like maybe doing the show or doing any other shows?
They contacted me like 6 years ago just to come out to see the finale and like live in person. They were going to fly me out and everything. I just didn't have the ability to do it at the time. Yeah, they wanted. I think they were going to fly me out, put me up in a hotel for the finale, and then the after party immediately after the finale, and then fly back the next day. Wow. I had no idea that if I was just going to be in the audience or if they wanted to like talk to me or put me on camera. I really didn't speak that much to it because I couldn't do it.
Interesting. Well, I guess my listeners are definitely wondering, would you ever do Big Brother ever again? Or are you like, I'm good?
Well, I wouldn't. I don't think I had the time available anymore. Unless it was something where I was guaranteed like a specific amount of money.
Yep.
Then I would consider, or if it was like a shortened, like a reindeer games or something along those lines, where it was like a shortened season or a special season, I would absolutely consider that. I know my wife would, and my stepkids would love that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would consider it. I would consider it. Yeah. I'd have to think about it, but I mean, if it was the right dollar amount, then yeah, I think I could foresee myself doing it. Wow, I would need to get, like I said, I need a minimum, you know?
No, that's fair. I mean, and they do that. So you have to fight for that, you know? Do you watch any other reality TV, any other shows you'd be interested in, or you would be open to going on?
Well, somebody, what's it called? The Imposters or something like that?
The Traitors?
The Traitors, yeah. Somebody was, as a matter of fact, my sister-in-law and her family were like, we were at a cookout. And one of the cousins was like, why don't you do The Traitors? Like, oh my God. They're all like, yeah, you should. I'm like, I've never heard of the show. I've never seen it. But I know it's like Alan Cummings, and I love Alan Cummings, the actor. So I was like, hey, that could be fun. And it's shot in Ireland or Scotland or something.
Scotland, yep.
Yeah. Yep. At a castle. I'm like, yeah, I could. But I think I watched the show one time.
Okay.
But I would possibly consider doing something like that. That sounds like it would be fun.
It's like a game of Mafia. You know, you gotta bluff a little bit. There's traitors and everyone has to figure that out. And well, Hardy, I guess my last question is, you know, looking back on your experience on Big Brother reality TV, is it something that you look on fondly? Is there any sort of trauma left over, or are you kind of like, this is something I did in my life and it was cool? And
you know what? I look at it with extraordinary fondness. It had really opened a lot of doors for me and in many different ways in both Miami and in hospitality. And it allowed me to meet a lot of interesting and new people that I probably wouldn't have interacted with had I not been through this. And, you know, having that experience is something that you'll always have with you. And it's, you know, some past cast members will like go out of their way to be recognized. I'm not one of those. I kind of shy away from it. Like if we're out and about, like I don't like want, and again, it's not I don't think it's my calling card, right? Like, it's not like I'm Hardy Hill from Big Brother and that's how I'm going to, like, I don't like people to even like know it. I mean, unless it comes up like organically, right? I don't want people being like, that's Hardy from Big Brother. You know, I'm like, it's just not my thing. But I respect those who do get a kick out of that. I don't shy away from it, but I just don't like grandstand either, you know? But yeah, it was an extraordinary experience. I would definitely, you know, recommend it if there's people that are thinking about it out there that want to try. Definitely do so. I've had an amazing experience with it. It had a really nice and major impact on my life and things that flowed from that in a variety of different ways. So yeah, it was a good experience for me. I got nothing bad to say about it.
And Hardy, what happens though when one of your stepkids is like, you know what if I want to do Big Brother? Would you?
I would tell them to go for it. You know,
okay.
I mean, so I don't know if they'd ever want to do Big Brother. They're into like the younger ones are into like the TikTok and all that stuff, which is like kind of weird because I just started like on TikTok and people are like, the funny thing I will tell you that I find very interesting is that one of the main comments that I've gotten on the videos that I put up and like posts are people telling me, I'm watching your season right now, or I've just watched your season last week and I'm in the middle of watching your season and how, like, I'm talking like 40 or 50 comments that involve like people like either currently watching our season or had just watched it and are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're putting this out right now. I just watched your season. It's just like that to me is really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah.
streaming gives everything a new life, you know? We love to go back and watch that stuff. So
yeah.
Well, Hardy, you know, thank you so much. It was very generous of you with your time, and it was great chatting with you.
Really nice to chat with you. Are there any questions that you'd like to ask me?
I feel like you covered like pretty much everything.
Yeah, we've had great questions, so you're very thorough.
Thank you. I've been doing this for a while, and I love it because I love hearing the stories and what people remember, and usually the best thing for me is when people look back on it positively, because I know a lot of people do not. So
well, I didn't have I can see that. I didn't have a bad experience at all, with the exception of losing a toothbrush.
Yeah, that one. But it does go down in history, maybe not for the best reasons, but
this is true. So yeah, I wanted to thank you, Sharon, for the opportunity and for the invitation, and I hope that you and your followers and fans are enjoying this as well.
Thank you, Hardy. That's so nice of you. Yeah. If you ever happen to get back into Big Brother and want to chat about it, I also think you and Bunky one time should maybe, like, I don't know, rewatch some of your season and I don't know, something fun would be cool.
He wants badly for him and I to go on The Amazing Race. Like, he's mentioned that to me. He's like, this is when we were in New York a couple of days ago. He's like, we should do The Amazing Race and da 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 da. And I'm like, he goes, we should video us like trying to navigate the subway system. And I'm like, that's a terrible idea, Bunky. I'm like,
that's
I don't want to shoot content right now. Like, let's just go where we're going.
I love how Bunky's like the content guy now.
He really wants to do The Amazing Race. And so he's basically like, you're going to be my partner on Amazing Race. And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can just like, I don't have a life where I can just stop everything and just be gone for like an indeterminate amount of time. But yeah, so he'll probably be in The Amazing Race.
Yeah, this new season is all Big Brother players on this upcoming season. So they do it. But we'll see.